get into that little groove when I'm playing that music and my countdown ticker. Get a little bit of dancing going on in there. Hey, it's Brenda Meller with Meller Marketing going live for an impromptu LinkedIn tip session. If you've been following me recently on LinkedIn, you know that I'm doing a 50 LinkedIn tips in 50 days. And I'm trying some different variations of this. Sometimes I do a static graphic. Sometimes I'm sharing like a slider. Other times, like today, I'm doing a live video because I'm going to do a quick 10-minute introduction to how to use your LinkedIn headline to help you with business development and lead generation. So I'm going to actually start walking through this right now. If you happen to be watching this live, I would love it if you could drop a comment below. Let me know that you're watching this live, or if you're watching this in playback, whether you're watching it on LinkedIn, on Facebook, or on YouTube later on. That helps me to know that the audience is watching, right? And helps me to know this message is reaching people. If nothing else, though, I'm going to add this to my YouTube library, and I might actually share this with a couple clients that are struggling with how to get more out of LinkedIn. So my tip for today, let me show you this. Let me see if I can pull this up on screen. I think I have to take myself off. Hold on. So there it is. Is your LinkedIn headline interesting, or does it blend in the background? Did you see that? You want to see that again? So that's my question for you. I want you to be honest with yourself. I want you to look at your LinkedIn headline right now, and I want you to tell me, is it interesting or is it blending in with everyone else? And I'm actually going to do a little bit of an on-screen demonstration here. So I'm going to share my screen and tell you guys what I'm exactly talking about here on the platform. So I'm going to share, let's see, I'm going to share my window. I'm going to go to, let's see here, my Chrome tab. When you're doing these solo LinkedIn lives, you got to like know how to navigate back and forth between your own profile and other profiles on the platform. And I'm doing navigation on multiple windows at the same time here, so bear with me. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to my LinkedIn homepage. I'm going to bring my screen up a little bit larger so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about when I'm referring to the LinkedIn headline, okay? And headlines are things that sit on our profiles. It's a box that is filled out. If you do not choose what goes in there, LinkedIn by default will pull job title at company. That's the default. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the default headline. So if I go to my profile right now on LinkedIn, if I click on that pencil icon, it's going to take you to your, it's like the top header box area. It says edit intro. And if you scroll down, you're going to see a box that is called headline. That's the title of the box. It's called headline. Now, if you have not changed this, LinkedIn is going to pull that headline from your current role. So it's going to pull job title at, and then it's going to put your employer name. Now, you can change that. And did you know that this box will allow you to put up to 220 characters in it? Did you know that? And it's not just a field to put in your job title for your company, because that headline can actually pull people to come back to your profile, or, and this is the bad part, it can repel people away because you might look like everyone else that's out there. And, you know, when people are finding you in a search result, you might blend in with everyone else. What do I mean by blend in? Let me just show you an example of this. I did a couple searches earlier today on LinkedIn just to try to find an example. And here's one: territory manager. Now, you may have people on your team who are territory managers, right? You yourself may be a territory manager. I'm speaking to you if that's the case. So I'm going to type in territory manager in the search box at the top of LinkedIn, and then I'm going to click on people, okay? And this is going to filter out. It's going to show me people who have the phrase territory manager someplace on their profile. LinkedIn just hiccuped. Did you see that? It says, not your fault. We're working on something. Now I refresh my screen and it's working. So I now see on here territory manager, and I clicked on people, and here's what I'm seeing. Adam's a territory manager at Priority One. So a lot of these people, it's job title at company. That's their headline, territory manager at. And here's Jared, territory manager at Hologic. James LeBlanc, territory manager at BD, right? And we can see a lot more of these people results if we click on the people tab. And you're going to notice that a lot of individuals on LinkedIn have the same thing, job title at company. That is what they have in their headline because they have not changed it from the default, okay? Now, what's interesting about your headline is, in addition to coming up in search results and either helping you to stand out from the competition or blend in with everyone, your headline also follows you around on LinkedIn. Did you know that? It does. It follows you around. What do I mean by that? Well, when I post on LinkedIn, you can see a portion of my headline that will appear in my posts. So what I'm doing right now is I'm navigating to my activity feed on LinkedIn, and I just clicked on post right here. So I went to Brenda's activity, see all activity. I click on post, and I can see my headline or my headshot photo. I see my name field and then a portion of my headline. So even though LinkedIn gives us 220 characters, only about probably between 50 to 60 characters we're going to show up in the preview in either the desktop feed or the mobile feed. If you want to see my full headline, you got to go to my profile. So for that reason, I always tell people, make sure that your headline is front loaded and top heavy. And in fact, what I have in here is unlocking the power of LinkedIn for VIPs and sales leaders, one-to-one in team train, ... right? It cuts off there. So my goal is to intrigue you, to get you to click to go back on over to my profile. So that headline does follow you around when you post on LinkedIn. That's why it's really important not to just have territory manager at ABC company, because that's not really telling us anything. I don't know about you. I wouldn't want to click on your profile if it just said job title at company. I want to click on profiles that look intriguing, interesting, that are thought-provoking, right? That pull me in because those keywords and phrases are clicking with me, right? Similarly to posting on LinkedIn, if you interact with other people's posts on LinkedIn, just like I did here on Adam Karpiak's post, if I were to add a comment and just say, this is a brilliant, I love Adam, by the way, you guys, if you're not following him, stop what you're doing, follow him. He's hilarious. He's a recruiter. He tells it like it is, and it's so raw sometimes, it's hilarious. And I'm just going to say, this is a brilliant technique. Love it. Now, when I post on Adam, I put a comment on his post, rather, you're going to see my headshot photo. You're going to see my name. And look at this. You see a little snippet of my LinkedIn headline as well. Now, if I have a headline that is not the default, but instead it's intriguing, I'm using keywords and phrases that appeal to you, you might be inclined to click to come back to my profile. And then guess what? When you click to come back to my profile, you can read my full headline at the top. So that's the 220 characters. So my advice for all of you, do not use the default headline. You want to use something that's a little bit different, a little bit intriguing, and speaking to your ideal target audience. As if I'm sitting across the table from you and my goal is to keep the conversation going, I want to put something in there that's going to pique your curiosity, right? You get 220 characters in total. I'm an opportunistic marketer, guys. If LinkedIn gives me a box with 220 characters, I'm going to fill in the box. I'm going to use all 220. But I also know that the first like 40 to 60 are the most important because that's what comes up in search results. That's what comes up when I post on LinkedIn. That's what comes up when I comment on other people's posts on LinkedIn. So I want to make sure that I have something that's intriguing, compelling, that gets you to click to come on over to my profile, and then you can read the rest. And that's where I have other keywords and phrases in here. And you can see in here, I start with kind of the most important thing that's going to compel my target audience to click. And then I want to keep you reading all the way through. I then have one-to-one in LinkedIn, or one-to-one and team training, speaker, loves pie. I love pie. If you know me, I love pie. I love it so much, in fact, that I wrote a book called Social Media Pie, How to Enjoy a Bigger Slice of LinkedIn. So that's all on there as well. And then I love jigsaw puzzles. I actually have a jigsaw puzzle table in my office at home. I'm working on a donut party puzzle right now. So it's a lot of fun. My Q4 projects are producing an audiobook and launching master classes, making a little bit of progress on each. And I'm also doing a series right now of 50 LinkedIn tips, and I put the web address. Even though it's not clickable, I know that some of you may be reading my profile and you might see that headline and you might click to come back on over to my profile. So that's how I maximize my LinkedIn headline. And it's not a set it and forget it. For me, I am always tweaking and modifying my profile. I get bored looking at my own profile, right? I want to make sure that it's fresh, that it's interesting, that it's relevant to where I am today, to my business goals for today, and to help me with my business goals for the next coming months as well. So make sure that you're looking at your LinkedIn headline. Do not use the default. If your headline on LinkedIn reads job title at company, that is the default. You want to go into your profile, click on that little pencil icon, as I demonstrated already, and then modify that headline and put something that's a little bit more interesting and intriguing in there. Okay. Your job title and company are going to be on your profile. They're going to be in your experience section, but that's not going to get people to click to come over to your profile. Try to use something that's a little bit more interesting in there. All right, guys. So that's been today's LinkedIn strategy tip. This is in my series of 50 LinkedIn tips. If you're following the hashtag, you'll be able to find the other posts. If you want to get the full checklist now, you can go to mellermarketing.com/sales tips. I'll put that in the comments as well. You just have to give me your email address and I'll give you the download for that. All right. Hope you found this helpful. If you're watching this right now, I'm going to open this up to a little bit of Q&A. So if you want to stick around, I can pull some of those questions up on screen to help you guys out. Or if you just want to give me a shout out and say hello, I would love it, because then it lets me know that people are watching these videos. If you've been watching me for a while, you know I used to do a lot of LinkedIn lives. Back in the beginning of the pandemic, I was doing 5 a week. Can you imagine doing 5 videos a week? It was a lot of work. I loved it because I was having great conversations with people from around the world. Got to be a lot of work, and then my business started taking off, so I had to kind of scale it back. And for a while, I was down to maybe twice a week, and now I'm down to about 1 a week. I'm starting to kind of work the frequency back up. I actually love being on video and I love talking to you guys, but I want to make sure that the value is there, that you're finding these things interesting and valuable. I might do a little bit more of these, just me and in the video, and not always doing an interview as well. So if you're finding these helpful, drop a comment and say, hey, found it helpful. If you want to see my jigsaw puzzle, drop a comment and say, hey, I want to see your jigsaw puzzle. Maybe I'll do a video in the future showing you my jigsaw puzzling and sharing some of my puzzling techniques. I don't know. We'll see. But let's see who's watching right now before I start to wrap up our session for today. All right, let's see. Joan Smith. Hello, my friend. Hey, Joan, thank you so much for watching. Neil agrees with me. Got to have a good headline, right? And Neil, that's going to pull people back to our profile to look at this. Neil is saying 45 show up in the preview. Great point, Neil. And depending on where you are pulling that from, 45 might be mobile. On desktop, I've sometimes seen 50 to 60. So I think you want to kind of think about the range could vary based on, am I on an iPhone, an Android, a tablet, a PC, a Mac. So the limits are going to vary. So I think it's a good framework to work out of, 40 to 60. You want to make sure that your headline is front loaded and top heavy. That's the key, right, Neil? I think you and I can both agree on that. The most important keywords and phrases go to the beginning. Take out anything that's unnecessary. Maybe consolidate words and phrases, move the unimportant words and phrases to the end. I totally agree with that philosophy. So thank you, Neil, for adding that in. On your view, it looks like 45 show up in the preview. Hey, Nawen, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. And Michael is watching. Hello, Michael. Thank you so much. Joan, always love reading your profile. I switch mine up occasionally. Hey, Joan, I'm like you. I get bored looking at mine every now and again. And I'll sometimes look at it and I'll go, well, that's not my current goal. That's not what I currently do. I've evolved my business a little bit. I want to tweak that and change up, make it a little bit interesting. So sometimes I change those up. And Joan is saying, yes, she loves these, very valuable. All right, so that is it for today. This again has been Brenda Meller with Meller Marketing. I hope that all of you have found these videos beneficial and helpful. And I'll just encourage you, when you're done watching the video today, if you haven't posted on LinkedIn in a really long time, I know who you are. You might be struggling with content, right? You don't know what to post on LinkedIn. Here's what you can do. If you found this video helpful, as soon as you're done watching it, you should see a share button, and just click on share and share that video to your LinkedIn. Tell people something that you learned by watching the video, all right? Or tell them why they should watch the video. You could say, hey, I just finished watching this video talking about LinkedIn headlines. Check it out, right? It counts as a post for the day on LinkedIn. And it also helps to spread the word to more people in the network. Maybe they can come check out my LinkedIn profile. So that's a little bit helping me too by encouraging people to come back and check that out as well. And if you happen to be watching this later on, you can still leave a comment. I will watch for comments throughout the day. And this will sit on LinkedIn. It'll go on Facebook. It'll go on YouTube. And I'll continue to look for comments on there as well. So if you have any comments or questions to share, I'd love to see that. All right, guys, I think that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing all of you on LinkedIn. If this video has inspired you to update your headline, drop a comment in there as well. And I would love to see your new headlines that are coming out of this, something that's a little bit different than the default. So again, this has been Brenda Meller with Meller Marketing. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you on live again soon. Take care.